Be over pictures. Hey Blair, we're now much closer, I would say just a couple 100 feet away from that CVS at Emory Point, right across the street from the CDC. And if you were looking at your screen right now, we were just able to see this is Mayor Andre Dickens. He is on scene here. You'll see him there in the white shirt. He's right there. He's been gathering intel from what we've seen over the last couple of minutes. So you mentioned that Governor Brian Kemp, he's weighed in, as have other state, federal leaders have weighed in, and now we're seeing that Mayor Andre Dickens, Atlanta's mayor, is on the ground right across the street from the CDC. He just last week was touting, celebrating Atlanta for how well the city has addressed violent crime in the last year. Violent crime's down roughly 25% year over year, this time compared to last year. This, though, comes after a very violent weekend 2 weekends ago, where there were 12 separate shootings, 29 separate individuals were shot, 2 people were killed. So we certainly are seeing a slight uptick in violent crime here in Atlanta. And there's the mayor right there in the white shirt in the middle of your screen. We've seen him walking to different officials trying to gather information. I've seen his team is also on site. I saw Fire Chief Roderick Smith from the Atlanta Fire Department. He's on scene as well. So Emory very much a part of the city of Atlanta and this jurisdiction. So of course the mayor is trying to keep tabs on the latest of what's going on in this investigation. If he gets a little bit closer to us, guys, we're about 100 feet from him. So this is our shot zoomed in all the way. We'll certainly try and get some information from him as he's trying to, I see him moving up the hill now, getting a little bit closer to that CVS, a little bit closer to the CDC. So we're certainly watching this intently. It'll be very important to see how the city, how Emory responds from this active shooter situation. So there's going to be plenty of time to bring in perspective and talk about next steps. And we're certainly seeing city leaders on the ground addressing the crisis as it's happening. Back to you. I'm going to come back on scene. We are starting to see certainly the temperature is coming down, certainly. But I wanted to grab this bag just here. I'm going to put it right back down. But if you can see what's in this bag, there are water bottles in this bag. This is children's clothing in this bag. We've also seen a lot of parents coming from that daycare center trying to track down their children. So this gives you a sense at what's still at play right now. A lot of that we don't know, but here's a look at the scene. Certainly the temperature, though, has come down, and we're seeing more officials driving into the CDC campus. Those were those vehicles that just drove into the CDC right there. So this is going to be the response to this active shooter situation, certainly dialing back a little bit. And for those who live in the area and trying to...
I'll double check because I was listening to 2 different people. So I'll double check. Now. what happens basically control room for that's the another basic question. And that was the functions there. I think it would have, but so what we did was shots of it and I sent to shot a flash I don't know if we're going to do that with the years. Well, that stuff's on the scene. Yeah. I got the just describe the scene. Like, literally, she can see the eyewitnesses right behind her. It's a great Johnny, you mind if I set this up? Keep it in there on the table. It's hardly ever used. Is that well, but it's there.
different by the time we get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's going past we're screwed. Yeah. Never messed with it.
Tom Johnson. Oh, really? Well, that one guy was in. Overtime, you can count on.
That's what I'm live. I'll follow y'all. This won't be in there. The mayor's trying to so everybody's
Hey, how are you?
Good. Good to see you too.
I saw you and I was like,
I know. I was getting my life together.
And I was like, that is Taylor.
I was definitely, off and at the gym, so it looked a little. But we're here.
Hey, breaking news waits for no one. I think it's already.
Thanks.
Breaking news waits for no one.
Right? Hey, friend.
They go around the corner too. 8 more. I saw 3 of them. Yeah. Hey. Alright, I don't see Ron here. Huh? More nice side. I think they got their nice side got there first. He was back there. Oh wait, actually wait, Ron was trying to Greetings. Yes, me personally. So what's the grocery background about? I'm not understanding. Yeah. So grocery bags were there with the SWAT truck? Yeah, that's it. So all the people. Yeah.
That's SWAT. Man, everybody. They didn't like us. You scared them. All right, thank you. Well, once it was set up, it's set up.
Nobody cares about shooting
Here it comes. Atlanta.
Lord, my viewers.
What's that? Oh, that's you.
All right, everybody, so it'll be about 15 minutes, give or take. So just bear with us. Because it is so many of you, when it comes time for questions, I am literally going down the row because it becomes too hectic for all of you all to start trying to ask your questions at the same exact time. So I will go down the row. I won't tell you which direction I'll start, but I just need whoever's going to ask that question, lean in so I know. Okay, does everybody hear me? And in about, thank you, in about 15 or so minutes. And as soon as I'm ready, we will give you a little bit of lead time so you can contact your master control so they can start rolling.
You can give all names before, so you're not asking.
It's going to be Mayor Dickens and Chief Shearbach. You all should already have their names. If not, you got time to look on the website and figure out how to spell it. See, you were talking, so that's why you didn't hear me. See? And you were talking. I said all that. I said all of that. But I will let you all know in enough time so you can pause back to your desk, okay? If this is anybody's news helicopter, once we start, right before we start, if you all can contact your assignment desk and have them not fly over. If it's police, it's fine, but if it's a news helicopter, they gotta move, okay? Thank you. All right, so it's all back to you.
It looks like the cab. Notice nobody got on the phone. Sorry. What were you doing?
I was just sitting at home. I was done for the day.
I was not quite done.
Yeah, we were.
Well, I mean, there's a Thai place and a pizza place. Barbecue place. Good job. Got a place right here for you.
I need check and because we are live now. ¿Me puedes escuchar?
Yeah. Where do you want to put this? Just leave it here. Thank you. Go ahead. I love you anyway.
Okay, ¿este shot te sirve o quieres adelante? ¿Atrás o adelante? Tengo que tener cuidado con todo el mundo. Así es, Araceli, en este momento procurando entonces esperar, en pocos minutos deberíamos tener acceso a la parte oficial de las autoridades al respecto. Se conoce que la zona sigue siendo de alta atención y la invitación es a que la comunidad se mantenga alejada de la zona. Hasta el momento también han confirmado que el tirador ha sido fallecido y se considera entonces que no hay una amenaza para la comunidad de Emory y tampoco para la comunidad en los alrededores. Sin embargo, importante mantenerse informado. Nosotros seguiremos y en breves minutos, pudiéramos estar hablando de unos 10, 12 minutos, estaríamos entonces llevando a ustedes de parte de las autoridades conocer qué detalles tienen para ofrecer, por supuesto siempre invitándoles a que se mantengan al tanto. Cuerpos de seguridad han entonces procurado, no digamos acordonar, pero sí restringir todos los accesos. Hay también todavía presentes ambulancias, siguen los cielos sobrevolados entonces por helicópteros y en líneas generales. Las autoridades han dejado saber que tal como mencionábamos, pues la mayor amenaza ha sido, digamos, ultimada. Sin embargo, la restricción se mantiene. No solamente de Araceli para efectos del tráfico, tráfico vehicular, sino también las restricciones en todos los alrededores para transeúntes. ¿Cuál es la recomendación? Sabemos que son momentos en los que la familia está regresando a casa. La invitación es a mantenerse resguardados y a salvo, sobre todo porque a lo largo de que esta tarde, noche avance, es muy probable entonces que todos estos organismos de seguridad se mantengan en la zona y por lo tanto la restricción de poder manejarse en los alrededores siga restringida. Sí, Araceli, estamos entonces esperando hasta el momento. Dejan saber que solamente darán información preliminar. Las autoridades han dejado claro que para el momento están entonces esperando a quien se encargaría de la vocería de dar actualizaciones a los medios de comunicación también. La persona entonces se acercó para compartir con nosotros datos. Dejó saber que la prioridad es poder controlar la situación y dejar claro que la seguridad ha sido totalmente respetada. Nosotros, por supuesto, nos mantendremos en el lugar. Si usted quiere estar informado, recuerden que la mejor opción va a ser hacer una emisión en nuestro 24 Atlanta para entregar más información. Están llegando dos
Welcome to the revolution, brother. Check, check, check. Oh, okay, gotcha. I just need my question captured right there. I just need my capture, my question captured on there. Well, no, because the mayor's gonna be standing right there, so you do the.
There's gonna probably be a crowd on.
Right, yeah.
Ben, you're good? Ben? Ben, good. You like? Mr. Trailer, you like it? Thanks, brother. Hey, Priya. Just pretend. He's back there.
The gathering of folks now from different agencies in the mayor's office is happening just like that. We're talking about Friday and folks are driving by. So many people heard the gunshot and they're terrified and that's not messed up.
I think something back to you on anything that we take it tonight popped up up there. Yeah, I figured that. I'm gonna tell them. I called them. And then they told you, and then you called me. I know. All right. Who's got a crumble one? Chair? Hey Rob, let's do it right now. Yeah, once you jump up here where they are. I mean, it'd be helpful. That's different than where he was. Yeah, that was way worse. Yeah. Good? Yeah. I got 61. I had that the first time. Sir, can you stand up here real quick? Oh, yeah.
He want that white shirt. He want that white shirt. There you go.
Up close? Yep.
He's a little closer to the mayor.
Look like it.
What makes you say that? Okay, thank you.
No, absolutely.
Appreciate it, bro.
No problem, guys.
Why gotta be a white balance?
I hear that.
pep talk.
Giving you a little bit of information. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, so go ahead and call all of your master controls, all your assignment editors to let them know. Again, I will say this. We will start with questions and we will go around. We will not do the barrage of questions at one time because I know you all have several questions. We ask that you please don't ask the same question that's already been asked because it becomes a repetitive thing. If you all can just bear with us because this is still evolving. Since we've been there, we just got another phone call. It's still evolving.
Okay.
But if you are the person who's going to ask those questions, when it's time, I will look at you or point to you or call your name if I know it, and we'll go around the room, okay? I would suggest that all those people who are standing behind me move closer this way because you're not going to really be able to see or hear the mayor because he's going to face this way. The people who will be talking are Mayor Andre Dickens, Andre Dickens, and Chief Darren Shearbaum, Atlanta Police Department. And we will start in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a 5 minutes. It's going to be the chief and the mayor.
Think fondly of it. Looking out.
You guys gonna have anything for us, or just the mayor and the chief? Okay, got it. Here they come. They're walking.
I called him, Rob.
You called it first.
Everybody good? Okay, we're about to start. Okay? Ready?
Good evening. My name is Andre Dickens. I'm the mayor of the city of Atlanta. I'm joined here today by Atlanta Police Department Chief Shearbaum, Atlanta Fire Rescue Chief Smith, as well as FBI SAC Brown to my right, and the DeKalb County PIO Officer Wells. We're just a few of the individuals and teams that are here that's been on scene for the last 2 hours as I've witnessed the coordination amongst many of this active shooter incident that occurred today on the campus of Emory University, just off site of the CDC and next to this CVS pharmacy. This active shooter incident started this afternoon, and Chief Shearbaum will give you some of the details regarding that. I witnessed over the last 2 hours a very coordinated response. A lot of training had to go into how these men and women of Emory University, DeKalb County Police, the FBI, the City of Atlanta Police, Fire and Rescue from both DeKalb and the City of Atlanta, the GBI, Georgia State Patrol. I saw officers coming from all over to be able to respond to this incident. At this time, Chief Sherbon will give you more of the details, but at this time, the shooter is deceased, and we don't have any civilians that have been shot in this active shooter incident. Thank God for that. We do have a DeKalb County officer that was also shot, and at this very moment, the CEO of DeKalb County, Lorraine Cochran Johnson, as well as the police chief of DeKalb County, are at the hospital right now, meeting and talking with individuals, the families, and other officers that were involved having to respond to this emergency situation. They will shortly come to this very same spot to give a press conference and an update on that officer and that incident. And at this time also, on the CDC's campus, there are 92 children that are in a daycare that is on this campus. They are safe, and we are setting up with the CDC and all connected parties to be able to get those families reunited with those children at a local school very nearby. And we have the address of that. That Chief will give you the specific address and name of that school nearby. So we are working to unify families, and at this time, there have been no civilian casualties, but this was an active shooter incident. The shooter is now deceased. The campus is, there are no threats on the campus currently, but we still have an active investigation. Atlanta Police Department will be the investigating party, and so we ask that while things are safe, that you don't drive in that part of campus, because we need to make sure that the investigation goes through without any obstruction. Again, to the men and women that work at the CDC, we know that you've had a tough go of it in the past year, and my heart goes out to you as uncertainty was around your occupation and you being citizens of Atlanta. That means something to me. And then today, this occurs. We are with you. We stand with you. And we're doing everything we can to make sure that we bring resolve to the situation. And FBI SAC Brown, he may be able to tell you more about some of the windows that might have been shot on various floors of the CDC as gunfire did take place. The other thing is, to those parents of those 92 children that are at the CDC, I'm a parent as well. I know your uncertainty and your fear and your concern has been high. We wanted to come give you this message that all the children are safe, and that we will be making sure that you get reunited with them as soon as possible. I know your heart is just really aching, but the good news is none of them have been injured, and we will get you connected to those, to your loved ones really soon. I'll come back to this microphone after others will be given a chance to speak. Now I turn it over to Chief Darren Sherbon, as Atlanta Police Department has been in coordination with all the other outstanding agencies as we've been working together. And this is why we train on active shooter drills, et cetera, around this region. This has been a group project and a coordinated effort. And Darren Sherbon, the Atlanta Police Chief, will now address you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just give you an update and some additional information what the mayor provided. So this afternoon at approximately 4:50, the Atlanta 911 Center became aware of a report of an active shooter that was occurring at 1600 Clifton Road. This is right at the intersection of Clifton Road and CDC Parkway, immediately in front of the CDC campus. Officers from multiple agencies responded, from the campus, across the region, from our federal partners and our state partners responded to the scene. Officers arriving found a critically injured DeKalb County police officer that was down. He was immediately extracted from the scene and taken to Grady Memorial Hospital. Officers could still hear gunfire occurring inside the CVS drugstore that is right there at the intersections. Officers moved quickly to attempt to find the shooter and to neutralize the threat to the community. We later found the shooter on the second floor of the CVS. He had been struck by gunfire. We do not know at this time whether that was from officers or if it was self-inflicted. He was removed from the location by Atlanta Fire Rescue to render aid. He did pass at the scene. We also know that the CDC campus did receive multiple rounds into their buildings. Right now, as the mayor stated, we are not aware of any injury that occurred to anyone on that location. 4 other individuals did later arrive at the hospital. They were retreated for stress and anxiety symptoms. They were not injured in the shooting. And to reemphasize what the mayor stated, the children in the daycare center are unharmed. We have law enforcement and medical professionals with them, and we are coordinating the return of those children to their families. We've already put this out. We want to reemphasize it. The CDC leadership is communicating this to all parents, but the reunification site is at the Clifton School, which is located at 1900 Starvine Way, Starvin Way in Decatur. And we want to again reassure all parents and loved ones that their children are okay. We do believe there was a single shooter, and we do believe that single shooter is deceased. Right now, the investigation is being conducted by the Atlanta Police Department's Complex Case Squad, by the GBI and the FBI in a joint investigation until we know more information as to what transpired. The Atlanta Police Department is lifting up the DeKalb County officer, the DeKalb County Police Department in our prayers, and I ask everyone that is watching this broadcast to do the exact same thing. And I want to commend the men and women of law enforcement from all across this region that when this community needed them, no one shirked from the danger. And every officer from multiple districts responded and immediately moved to end this threat. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul Brown, the Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Atlanta Division. And like the Chief and the Mayor said, we immediately responded to the scene. At this time, we're not aware of any casualties on the campus of the CDC, but in conjunction with our partners, we're methodically clearing that to ensure that that is accurate and that is remains so. And then once that's done, we'll assist with processing the scene and conducting the investigation jointly with our partners.
Mayor, Chief, we'll get ready for questions. We'll start on this side. We may not be able to get to everyone, but we'll start with you, Rob, over to the mayor's right.
Right. Good evening, Mayor. Is it believed right now that the CDC was targeted in this attack?
Well, I'll let Chief Shearbaum ask anything around the investigation. He'll be able to answer that. But right now, it's so preliminary. I read social media and I get calls from a number of you that have heard things about this individual's background. He's a white male, and he has he is a known person that may have some interest in certain things that I can't reiterate right now with any confidence until the investigation is fully conducted. But I think that in a short order, you'll know more about this individual and about some assumptions of his motives, but can't say right now.
All right.
Can you tell us anything more about the suspect? What kind of weapon did he use? How many rounds went into the CDC building?
Chief, you want to?
Not yet. We can tell you multiple rounds were fired. We can tell you that multiple rounds were fired, both we believe at law enforcement and potentially at the CDC. Purposely, we can't say it definitively, but it would appear we can't rule that out right now.
Is that CVS a 2-story store, or was he in some other kind of place above the store?
We believe it's a multiple-story building, but he was on the second floor of the building that houses the CVS.
Does he have a criminal record?
We can't release that at this time.
Did the man live in that building?
Allow me to let someone else ask a question. Anyone over here at New York Times?
So this shooting comes on the heels of a few other high-profile shootings, including the one at Fort Stewart, including numerous on Edgewood and some other neighborhoods. I'm curious to what extent can the city confront what seems to be a rash of gun violence without state-level intervention?
So your question around a number of high-profile shootings, Fort Stewart, here at Emory, and others across the nation and in the state of Georgia, is definitely one that we have to pay attention to. Mass shootings, active shooter scenarios should not become the norm. We have a number of individuals in this country that have access to high-powered weapons, and for individuals with those high-powered weapons that may have mental challenges, or those individuals with high-powered weapons that are angry, when they choose to use those weapons in a way that harms multiple people, we have to put an end to that in our society. So this is something we do have to have a national and a state, a full conversation across the nation and across the state of Georgia, not just in one city. As you see, this is a coordinated effort across DeKalb, across college campuses, the FBI, the GBI. As you see active shooters across the nation, we've just been added to the statistic.
Right here in black shirt. Allow her opportunity, please.
We're hearing that the officer passed away. Is he passed away?
Well, at this time, it is a DeKalb County officer, and we want to make sure that DeKalb County is able to respond to what's going on with that officer. We know that he was shot and critically injured, and at this time, as I stand here, I can't give you that information that you just asked. We have the PIO of DeKalb County here, and as I said, in short order, you will hear from the DeKalb County Chief and the DeKalb County CEO.
All right, over here.
Can I ask, why was the DeKalb officer there? I know this area is kind of on that border, but just talk about that, maybe Chief Shearbomb or you, Mr. Mayor.
I want to talk about how mutual aid and how we're all kind of together.
This is an area that is part of the city limits, but inside of DeKalb County, so it's not uncommon for patrol patterns to cross for multiple jurisdictions that may share the space. We don't know why the officer was there. Was he going to work? Was he coming home from work? We don't know if he was on patrol. We will know that at the end of the investigation.
Hang on, Ryan. She's got it.
Did you want to give an update?
So we can confirm that our officer was responding to the threat of the active shooter. Yes. Yes, we can confirm that our officer was responding to the threat of the active shooter.
Can you give an update on the condition? There have been several media reports that he's passed away.
So we can't confirm that at this time. Like Mayor said previously, our interim chief Pedrick will be here to provide an update. I just don't have that information readily available.
Ryan, over here, Ryan.
So we are, both Chief and Mayor, if you can, we're getting reports that maybe the suspect who was known had some issues with the CDC because he was upset about the COVID vaccine and he thought it made him sick. Is there any way you guys can maybe address that, and maybe if he was targeting the CDC because of the vaccine?
We cannot confirm at this time. This is in the earliest stages of the investigation. The same questions you have, law enforcement has. And so everything that is the question of the nation, we're going to get the answer to, and we'll be able to report back as soon as we can.
Univision.
We're hearing this maybe. Was this officer a rookie officer? We heard basically he was almost ambushed a little bit when he actually arrived on scene responding to this call.
So any information about the officer will come from interim chief Pedrick later this evening, including his status and how long he was with the department.
All right.
Is the white car with the trunk open and shot up, is that connected to the suspect?
It's part of the crime scene at this time. We can't confirm if it was the car that the suspect drove, but it is being searched by the police and it's being held as evidence.
All right. We're going to take the last question right here.
Do you guys have a timeline of when the gunfire was called in and how quickly officers responded and how quickly the suspect was essentially...
4:50 p.m. is when the first call came in. Law enforcement arrived very, very quickly thereafter. Oftentimes when officers arrive, they're so quickly engaged in the scene they can't radio out. So we'll be reviewing all video to determine when the first officers arrived. But the response was from multiple agencies. I wish I could name everyone right now, but the citizens of the Atlanta region should be proud of their law enforcement today.
Mayor, you want to give a parting statement before we go?
Yeah, as Chief stated, this was a coordinated effort. When I was here around 5:15 or so, I was seeing not only DeKalb County and Atlanta, we were seeing Gwinnett County. We saw officers from Dunwoody. We saw, of course, Emory, the FBI, GBI, Georgia State Patrol. Everyone was responding because there were shots being fired, calls for shot being fired right there in front of the CDC, and then shots fired inside of the CVS. And so you're hearing, everyone responded. It was hundreds of officers as well as fire rescue. And at this time, we've spoken with Emory President Finvez, as well as all of the individuals at the CDC, the leadership there, and the leadership of DeKalb County, et cetera. Everyone will continue to give updates throughout this evening. This very same spot will be utilized by DeKalb County as they return from the hospital really soon, as they're talking with families. And as more information becomes available that we can share about the suspect that is now deceased, we will make sure that we share that because we want you to know the mindset, what might have led to this so that we never have it happen again. We want right now to give this update that the area is clear, no threats continue to exist, and we're going to start reuniting families with those children that are in that daycare. And again, the campus has the all clear sign. Stay out of that area right there in front of the CDC and where the CVS is, because it is an active investigation that's being led by APD in coordination with FBI, GBI, and of course with DeKalb County there. That's it at this time.
Thank you, everyone. For any updates, please make sure you follow the Atlanta Police Department social media. That's where we will have updates. That's also where we will let you know where we will have our next press conference, and we'll also try to send an email. Thank you, everyone.
Officer Wells, we're hearing the press conference is at 8:30 at the hospital.
Ready to go.
With Brady?
Coffee down.
Yeah, coffee down.